Hi, thanks for joining us for another webinar. We're going to look at, for the next 3 weeks, what we as marketers would recommend looking at, not only just as a year in review, but looking ahead to 2025. This webinar, we're going to be talking about some of the analytics that you should be looking at so that you can make good decisions going into 2025 as far as with where to spend your time and your money on your marketing. And then we're going to go over a marketing blueprint that we do for clients next week. And then we're just going to talk about like tips in the third week, so leading up to Christmas, around just how we would plan out a year if we were working with you. But today, I just want to talk about the best way to go about planning your marketing. So many people basically just use their gut when it comes to marketing. And that's great. Like, I definitely use my gut on a lot of things, but it needs to be backed by data. And I feel like when you're looking at your sales trends and your sales cycles from the previous year, marketing always starts a couple of months ahead of time. So I'll give you an example. TurboTax. You will start seeing ads for TurboTax probably in the middle of this month, definitely in January, 100% in February and March, because they know that people need to file their taxes by April. They're not going to start their ads on like April 1st or April 10th. The same would go for your marketing. So if you're going back and you're looking at your sales and you're like, man, like, October is usually a really busy month for us, but it just wasn't this last year. What was your marketing like? Did you start prepping your audience in August and September? You should be starting at least 2 months ahead of time, priming your audience to do business with you in the month that you want them to do business with you. And same thing goes for like website traffic. So if you're looking at website traffic and you're like, man, like website traffic really takes a dip in September, October, November, that either can tell you two different things. One is people, for whatever reason, aren't needing your services then, and maybe you shouldn't spend ads then or spend money on ads. For us, December is always really slow for us for new clients. So we don't really spend a lot of money on marketing in December because it's kind of money not well spent. I would suggest you do the same for your business. Look to see when you are the busiest, and that means there is a trend that people are seeking you out in those times. So you should be spending your marketing dollars on the months leading up to that, not in it or after it. Well, maybe a little bit in it, depending on what your service is, if you can turn it around quickly. But your sales data and your web traffic and your ad data and your social media data, you should be looking at that to see when the peaks and valleys are, because that'll help your timing. It could help you with staffing. It could help you with where to spend your money on marketing. It could also help you just set realistic goals and expectations for the quarters and for the year. My other piece of advice would be to make sure that when you're looking at your website traffic, you need to be looking at like what pages are people coming to the most. And a couple things, if they're coming to a certain page the most, you need to make sure that that is a really strong page. Every page on your website should be a sales funnel. Not overtly, but the whole point of your website is for it to be a sales tool so that people are either making a purchase online or they're reaching out to you. You want to make sure that the web pages that are popular are the ones that you want to be popular. So, for instance, obviously your homepage should have the highest traffic count. And then let's say it's the about page is next. Do you really want the about page to be your second most popular page? If so, great. Make sure that it is fully optimized so that people will do business with you. If it's not, then you need to think about your site layout. Why is the about page the second most visited site? Is it Is that the first link on your nav bar? Is it the first link? Like, is it the first link on the website? Like if it's above the fold? Are you sharing your about page all the time on social media? So that's the link that people will come across the most when they're doing their research on you. So trying to take a high level view of your whole business process and system is really important so that you can ensure that you're making the right decisions for whatever your goals are for 2025. Same for ads. If you're noticing that you're getting a ton of conversions in certain quarters or in certain months, double down on those next year. Don't, so many clients want to just evenly spread their marketing dollars across the year. That's not a smart way to go about it. It's not like investing where you're doing dollar cost averaging. You're going to strike while the iron's hot. So if you're looking back at last year and you're like, wow, February and April and July were red hot. And if you can go back even further and actually confirm that those months continually are your busiest months, double down in the marketing for those months or the months leading up to it. Don't necessarily spend more per year, but just move your marketing dollars around. Take it away from the slower months and put it into the months leading up to the hotter months. You don't have to spend the same amount of money every single month, every single quarter on your marketing. It needs to be a little bit more strategic than that. The other thing that I would look at is, I would say, like for social media, go back and look at your most popular posts and recreate those. You could also boost them. So one thing we tell clients all the time is, regardless of the platform, if a piece of content does well organically, it's going to do well with dollars behind it. So we don't condone boosting posts as part of like a aggressive or like thought out marketing plan. We create specific ad funnels for like very specific goals. But if you don't have a lot of budget, boosting a post can be really helpful. And if that is you, then boost the organic posts that are already really popular. If you already have a really strong marketing campaign and you look at organic posts, recreate those as part of your funnel for your marketing campaign. You can literally use the same post. Just recreate it. Those are just some of the helpful tips that we recommend to our clients when they work with us. And this time of the year is always really important for everybody because they're looking back to see what went well, what didn't go well in 2024, and how can you make 2025 be a better year. Take the time, go through your sales numbers, go through your website analytics, your social media analytics, your ad analytics, and see where the trends are. And go with the flow, go with the trend. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to outsmart what's already working or what's already happening. Use it to your advantage. All right, we'll be back next week with another year end, also year preview video, just talking about how we would approach marketing. And I hope that you can join us for that. I hope you're having a great week. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Again, these are short, sweet, bite-sized chunks for you to improve your marketing. If you'd like to follow me along on LinkedIn to stay up to date with marketing trends and what's going on, you can scan that QR code. If you'd like to join our email list and stay up to date with our monthly newsletter, it's not spammy. We just send one a month. You can join our email list using that link. I thank you for your time.